Okay, so everybody remembers what FOIL means, right? The product of the first, product of the outer, or the sum of the products of outer and inner, and then product of the last. Okay, so we're just doing this process in reverse. So if I gave you an expression, okay, there's two forms that we're going to talk through. The first is when the leading coefficient is 1. Okay, when the leading coefficient is 1, easiest method is to factor by reverse foiling and just use trial and error. Okay, when you factor by reverse foiling, if the leading coefficient is 1, automatically you can fit in your first terms. They're just going to be whatever number or value you have to square to get the first term. Since there's no coefficient on it, it's just going to be the variable to the first power. So we know our first terms are going to be x in each of these factors. And then to find the second terms, you guys recall what the steps are? To figure out what these second terms are, they have to fit two rules. You have to find two numbers whose product is c. Now remember, this is in the form of ax squared plus bx plus c. So if the product is c and the sum is b, okay, your middle term's coefficient is the sum of the terms. Okay, so what two numbers have a product or can multiply to give you 24 but add together to give you a negative 14? Olivia? Okay, good. So when you're looking at that, one way that you can do this is either mentally or physically write it out. Just start going through your different combinations. So in looking at this, since the product is positive, okay, a plus 24, and the sum is negative, anytime the product's positive, we know the signs have to be the same. They're either both positives or both negatives. Well, since the total sum of these terms here, the outer plus inner sum, has to be a negative, we know that these are both going to be negative numbers. So you can take negative 1 and 24, negative 2 and negative 12, negative 3, negative 8, negative 4, negative 6, and then it just cycles back through those same pairs, right? Okay, so we look for which of these have a combined sum of negative 14. We get negative 2 and negative 12, and so those are the factors for this expression. Okay, what if I gave you something like this? The first degree term of whatever our variable is, so y. Our second terms have to have a product of positive 8 and a sum of negative 9. So what two numbers can you multiply to get negative or positive 18 and add together to get a negative 9? Lauren? Negative 6 and negative 3, and so those are your factors. And do you guys need to see another example, or you guys recall doing this? Okay. What I would like you to do then is on page 260, I want you to just spend a moment or two answering questions 24 to 34.